Hello everyone, it's Doom here, once again playing a video game. Sorry about that. Today it is Reign of Chaos, the Warcraft 3. Maybe. Anyhow, we have a campaign to do, and in that campaign there are several campaigns of the different races. Oh no! And starting off with the prologue campaign of Exodus of the Horde. Now, mostly how we will be doing these videos is cutscenes and interludes will be continue indefinitely, whilst we would end after every actual mission. However, since this is the prologue, it's just two cutscenes. We're just gonna do everything in one go. Anyway, with that, let's get started. Introduction: The Prophecy.
We never paid any heed to the ancient prophecies. Like fools, we clung to the old hatreds. And fought as we had for generations. Until the day the sky rained fire, and the new enemy came among us.
This is back when Infernos were visual awesome.
We stand now upon the brink of destruction, for the reign of chaos has come at last.
As for our next cinematic of Thrall's Vision, there's something real quick I wanted to point out. If you buy this game legitimately, it will have a codex that is used to decrypt, effectively, the video footage. So if you don't have if you are playing this game on a newer operating system, since this game is pretty damn old, it may not be able to the codex may not be able to do its job properly. And whilst you could fix this by installing a third-party codex or pirating the game, of which I do not recommend of either, you could just run compatibility mode, which is what I did.
The sands of time have run out, son of Duratan. The cries of war echo upon the winds. The remnants of the past scar the land. Besieged once again by conflict. heroes arise to challenge fate and lead their brethren to battle. As mortal armies rush blindly towards their doom, the burning shadow comes to consume us all. You must rally the Horde and lead your people to their destinies. Seek me out.
I'll also be going over lore in case you've been living under a rock and the only things you can watch are incredibly obscure YouTubers and you want to know more things. Though only if characters really get name dropped and I feel it is relevant, or if I'm just running out of things to talk about. Anyhow, somewhere in the Arathi Highlands, Thrall, the young war chief of the Orcish Horde, wakes from his troubling dream.
What kind of nightmare was that? It was not a nightmare, young war chief, but a vision. Follow me, and I will reveal what your future holds.
I don't know what this is all about, but I'll play along. The spirits are restless.
I'm just going to skip by a bit since the
For
narrator's
honor.
going to start talking in 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Very good.
Close
the path
enough.
to the next banner leads through a black area. Notice how the black area shrinks as Thrall moves through it. This reflects areas you have explored. Select Thrall and order him to move to the banner in the middle of the encampment.
Loktar, my warriors. We are yours to command, War Chief.
In order to have Thrall and his troops move together, you must first select all of them.
Now then, to go over what he just said, basically, areas we've seen before are colored in, so to speak, but areas that are not are just pure black, and we can't see anything. Now then, to select someone, you have to use left click, and we can select things that aren't under our control. And yellow means they're neutral, red would mean they're enemies, whilst green
Master?
means they're allies, or units we control. And to move a selected
am
unit, if
the
we
war
control it, we need to use right click. We cannot control allied or enemies, obviously. Now then, to use an ability, we need to either press F, since that's the current hotkey for this ability called Farsight, or to left click it and then click somewhere else. A bit of note is that right click would cancel the ability, but on the map it actually moves where you would aim in, which is a nice bit of information for an ability like Farsight, which is used to reveal portions of the map. Like that. Of course,
honor.
to select several units at once, we need to hold the left and then drag it
Let's
over to
get
create a
Now that your
box.
troops are all selected, order them to move to the next banner.
Prepare yourselves. I sense a knoll ahead.
To order Thrall's forces to defeat this foul creature, select all of your troops.
And,
This was only a scout, but the knoll's camp lies just ahead.
of
Order
course,
your
to
troops to perform an aggressive attack move into the enemy encampment. To
Of-
do this, select all of your troops, click the attack button, and then left click on the ground in the middle of the knoll camp.
of course, to move or to attack a unit with selected units is the same as moving. And I'm trying to show something, but I've completely forgotten where it was.
Yes.
You can also use A and then a right click to cause our units to attack an area, causing them to automatically attack the closest enemy unit that they see. Killing all those gnolls gave us enough.
On the hero ability.
Killing all those units also gave us enough experience to level up, causing us to use the chain lightning. But however, I'm still trying to find something. Wherever it is.
Dabu,
It's somewhere around there.
for honor. Yes,
I just can't remember.
Dabu, for honor.
War Chief, we've discovered a group of Murloc raiders in the nearby river.
The Murlocs would make excellent targets for your new Chain Lightning spell. To have Thrall use his new ability, click on the Chain Lightning button and then left-click on one of the Murlocs.
Because we could have used our chain lightning ability here. It's an AoE ability
Some
that
monsters
jumps.
drop treasure. This particular treasure chest contained a useful potion of mana. Notice that the potion now occupies one of Thrall's inventory slots near the bottom middle of your screen. Potions of mana can be used to replenish a hero's mana, the magic energies that allow the casting of spells such as Chain Lightning.
By the way, normally the most recent command has precedence. However, if you hold
For
shift, you
honor.
can queue commands.
Order
Is it
Thrall's
over here?
forces to explore up the river, following the banners.
Ignore that.
Thrall is currently low on mana. Use
Okay, where the hell is it? Found it! Now here we can see some scurvy pirates with fat loot. What this does we'll get into later.
Lokrigar Nogan. Yes. Dabu. Yes. None will survive. Lokdarosh. Let's get on with it. For honor. Yes. For
The
honor.
wolf howl signifies that night has begun.
Be wary, my warriors. Don't let nightfall dull your senses.
As Thrall's
Yes.
statement and this hint tells
For
you,
honor.
a night can
Double.
hinder your unit's senses. This is only important in story mode, or
For
campaign
honor.
mode if you prefer.
Yes, an ogre. We'd have a fierce battle on our hands if the beast weren't sleeping.
And that means attack!
Hammer!
There was no reason to do that. I'm just a jerk. And since we're playing as the orcs, that's kind of fitting.
Dabu. For
After
honor.
all, they were just
Yes.
retconned into being corrupted.
Dabu.
So, if you were playing
honor.
Warcraft 1 and 2, that was
Yes.
basically close to end
A
character,
double.
you'd think.
Watch yourselves, my brethren. Those creatures do not sleep at night.
Yes, golems do not sleep at night, and there's more over here, here, and here. We're only interested in the one over here.
For Doomhammer! Yes.
Excellent. Thrall has found a magic ring. Rings are very useful because they provide a constant passive benefit as long as they are carried.
Ah, yes. Now that we have something to compare it to, a potion is a consumable, and when we left-click to use it as if we were to select it, it is used. In this case, it's a potion of healing, so it heal us. Or in this case, just Thrall. It will be now us from now on. And a Ring of Protection will increase
Let's
Thrall's
get on.
armor by 1 as long as he holds it.
For honor. I am the
If he
warchief.
drops it or loses it for some reason or
Yes.
another, he loses that bonus.
For honor. Forest trolls. I still can't believe they were ever a part of the Horde.
What you want?
Come Lokrigar Nogan. Lokdarosh. For Doomhammer. I am the warchief.
This is a manual of health. Normally the items like this are called tomes, and when we pick it up, Thrall gains a permanent bonus to his health,
For honor.
as you can see here.
Very good. That treasure chest held a magic tome that can be used to give Thrall a permanent benefit.
It also counts as a sword to heal. Anyhow, let's finish this, since we've shown basically everything off.
Greetings, son of Duratan. I knew you'd find your way.
It was you I saw in the vision. Who are you? How do you know me?
I know many things, young war chief, about you and your people. My identity at this time is unimportant. What is important is that you rally your people and leave these shores immediately.
Leave? What's this all about, human?
Human? I left my humanity behind long ago. I am something different now. Know that I have seen the future and beheld the great burning shadow that is coming to consume this world. You sense it as well, don't you?
The demons are returning.
Yes, and only by leading your people across the sea to the distant lands of Kalimdor will you have a chance to stand against them.
But how can we...
I will answer all of your questions in time, young war chief. For now, rally your warriors and prepare to leave this land. We will speak again.
None of this makes sense. But the spirits tell me that I should trust him.
Yeah, spirits did kind of get a weird retcon, and same with shamanism. When shamanism first appeared in Warcraft lore, actually, with Thrall's origin story, I forgot what the book was called. Yeah, I completely forgot what the book was called, sorry. But yes, in Thrall's origin story, which is in a book, shamanism was basically druidism as we know it.
It's been 3 days and this prophet has yet to show himself. I hope I'm not making a huge mistake by trusting him.
War Chief, the clans are assembling as you ordered, but it will take them some time to reach us.
Then we must prepare this camp immediately. I want my warriors to have food and proper lodgings when they arrive.
Yes, War Chief.
Warrior, has there been any word from Grom Hellscream? He and the Warsong clan were supposed to have been here by now.
No, War Chief. We haven't heard from Hellscream in some time.
Damn it, Grom. Where the hell are you?
Ah yes, good old Grom. He appeared in Warcraft 2 with the worst voice for an orc
The blinking
ever.
button at the top of the screen indicates that your quest journal has been updated. To find out more about your objectives, click on the quest button.
Anyhow, the quest is basically your to-do list. So, a grocery list of sorts.
Once a peon has been ordered to harvest gold, you will automatically travel back and forth between the gold mine and your closest great hall. Here are a few additional peons.
Are you done?
The amount of gold that you currently possess is displayed in the upper right portion of your screen. As peons return to your great hall with gold, your gold stockpile increases.
Are you done?
Now that your gold income is steady, you will want to produce additional. Training a unit takes time. When your great hall is selected, you can see a progress indicator in the bottom middle portion of your screen.
Are you done now?
Let's get on with it.
Okay, I think
Ready
that's a
to work.
yes. Now then, whilst the first mission was more
In
of
order
an...
to support a larger population, additional orc burrows will have to be constructed. Burrows provide the food that allows you to train more troops. To construct a burrow, select one of your peons.
Okay, can you let me talk now, sir? Anyhow, whilst the first mission of the prologue was all about exploration, this is more about base building, covering the two facets of the campaign.
Something to do.
Now, click on the Build Structure button in the command card. In order to produce additional buildings, you must gather more lumber from the nearby forests. To harvest lumber, select a peon and right-click on a nearby tree. To increase the rate of which you collect lumber, train additional peons and assign them to harvest from the forest.
Anyhow, we also have peons to work with, which are our worker unit, as all RTSs have. If you have an RTS without worker units, either it is the single weirdest strategy game to the point I find it difficult to constitute it as a strategy game, or you are not finished programming your game and you should get to work on it. We use them to build buildings, and peons have a unique means of attack. Whilst they're normally pretty shit, 7 to 8, and they can't get upgraded, put them in a burrow, and with 4 up to a maximum of 4, and with 4 they actually have a pretty respectable attack rate. They don't do a lot of damage even in burrows, but with enough attack rate, enough burrows, and enough peons, you can actually kind of hurt.
Now that your peon has been assigned to gathered lumber, he will automatically travel back and forth between the forest and your closest great hall.
More lumber. We need more lumber. We need more lumber. Word. Ready
War mills contain various upgrades that can be researched to improve your troops. To see what upgrades are available, select your war mill.
Yes.
All available upgrades appear as buttons in the war mill's command card. To research an upgrade, left-click on the one you want to purchase.
Anyhow, the war mill also serves as a lumber drop-off point, so we can, you know, get lumber faster, as well as an upgrade center. And we're going to want those upgrades because while our peons and heroes don't benefit from upgrades, our regular units like those grunts from the first mission do benefit.
Something you're doing?
I am the war chief.
A bit of a funny story, actually. I first played this game when I was like 4 or 6, around that age range. And
We need more gold.
the friend,
Continue
I
producing
say that
things
with
until you
quotation
reach your quest
marks.
requirement.
I say that with
You
quotation
have
marks.
just placed a rally point for your structure. Whenever a unit finishes training from this building, he will automatically travel to the rally point's location. To place a rally point, select one of your unit-producing structures and right-click on the ground
Research
where you want
complete.
the rally point to appear.
Oh yeah, I forgot about rally points. Yes, they're so basic and simple. I thought you could have figured it out on your own. But in case you can't,
My life.
all of your buildings, instead of moving, can place a rally point. Even your war mills. I was wrong. You cannot. All unit-producing buildings can throw down these rally points. That's why I didn't mention them. I didn't know about their existence. I was that stupid. That's my excuse, all right? Anyhow, that friend I mentioned when I was like 4 or 6, it got me this game as a pirated version, and let's say it took me a long ass time to find out. As in, I only knew when I first tried to get this game. Again, after losing it, the pirated version. I was under the impression it was a legitimate version. That was gotten like on a disc. I was so wrong.
Spirits are restless.
Oh well, if I can beat that game, this game then when I was like 6, I can probably do it again, hopefully. Yeah, let's clear out these gnolls. There's no real reason to do so, I believe, but there's no reason not to. We are a bit undermanned, but with some chain lightnings, preventing our units from getting too hard focused with some micro, and we should be able to win this game, or win this fight pretty easily.
Let's get on with it.
Never mind, they got a scroll feeling. Scrolls are like potions except for your army.
I am the war chief.
Or that beep.
Yes.
Well, I guess you can use it now and get the
Master?
after we're safely out of range of the one grunt that needs it. That was totally intentional. You have proof it wasn't intentional.
What you want? Be happy to.
Or don't fuck it. Whatever. Now we're just gonna have them hang around here. I don't really want to talk about factions and how they compare. What are my opinions of them right now? Since this is just the prologue, I feel like when we actually get to the Horde campaign, the real one, then we'll talk about the Horde as a faction. But right now, we're just gonna talk about the game. Namely, we need our grunts to train faster, and to do that, we're going to get a second barracks, as well as set the rally point to Thrall directly. So when they're done training, they'll go straight to Thrall, and that's where we need them. We should also probably build a burrow. That's a barracks.
Work, work.
You orcs are in violation of the Alliance Internment Act. We've already captured one of your leaders. If you surrender now, we'll spare your lives.
War Chief, they say they've captured one of our leaders. Maybe they're referring to Grom.
I hope not. But if they have captured Hellscream, I'll make them regret it. Loktar Ogar! Come, my warriors! We must drive the humans back! Lokrigar, Ogar. Yes? What's up? The spirits are restless.
What was that grunt doing? Jeez.
Work complete.
Another use of...
Humans have been destroyed.
Move Thrall and the rest of your forces across the bridge and locate
Lokrigar,
Grom.
Ogar.
Another use of worker units is to repair buildings. And speaking of rescuing and finding Grom and all that,
One of your structures was damaged during the fight. To repair a damaged building, select the peon, click the repair button, and then left-click on the desired
Work
structure.
complete. Something you're doing?
speaking of Grom, whilst he did not only just appear in the second game, oh my god, he does have some bit of lore importance. Namely, he is basically Thrall's best friend, leader of the Hellscream clan, which is canonically, though not in gameplay, an elite army of orcs, as the clans are basically a whole group of orcs, and thus would have armies. In fact, since pretty much every orc in a clan probably knows how to fight, it's safe to say that clans serve as, well, armies as well.
Yes,
I mean, they're not just armies, but they are, so,
the spirits
but
are
never mind.
I am the war.
Anyway, I've also been using control points, so, and to add, and to make one, you need to use control 1, or shift 1, I believe, and shift will add whilst control will overwrite. This is standard.
The spirits are restless.
Work complete.
For honor,
My life for the Horde.
Lokrigar, Nogar.
And yeah, let's continue rampaging through this general area. This poor grunt could really use that scroll of healing.
Thumbs up. Smogu.
I am
Master. My life for the
And we freed another grunt who, for some reason, apparently keeping orcs in a cage with their weapons and armor, well, what armor they do wear, is perfectly fine, and has no chance of backfiring in this world.
Yes. Dabu. Smogu.
There we go.
I am the Horde.
With this we gain a shaman, a spellcaster that has purge.
Your army
If-
has grown to such a large size that it now requires a portion of your income to sustain it.
Lokrigar, Nogar.
This maintenance cost is referred to as upkeep.
Purge is the spell that Knoll spellcaster used on our grunt that
When you
made him
control multiple spellcasters at the same time, it often becomes necessary to quickly switch between them to cast their individual spells. By using the subgroup interface, you can do so without having to try to select them individually.
And yes, that
Notice
was what...
the currently selected
Are
units
you
are
kidding me?
displayed in the
Shut
bottom
up!
portion of your screen by little portraits. One of the
My
unit
life
portraits
for
is
the
highlighted
Horde.
with a
Life
yellow
for
glow.
the Horde.
This means that it is the currently
Work.
activated subgroup. You can switch between subgroups by pressing the tab key or left-clicking
What
on
you
one of
want,
the portraits that is not highlighted.
Yes.
This activates
get
that
on with
subgroup
it.
and displays their spells in your command card.
Anyhow, this is what is called our command card, actually. And this is our currently selected unit. You can also tell by the yellow outline is here. And by pressing shift, you can switch what unit you're currently selected. So you can use their spells without having to do that. Let's get a move on.
Dabu.
I don't really like shamans that much. I think they are basically unusable trash unless you fully upgrade them, in which case they become one of your better units due to the power of their last upgraded build. But otherwise, I think they're just kind of trash that sucks and you probably shouldn't touch.
Work complete. Dabu. For honor. We're under attack! What do you want?
But despite our force being strong enough to basically win outright, we're going to keep training, because why not?
Let's
Low upkeep is another mechanic that I believe is unique to this game. I have never seen a strategy game that has an upkeep mechanic, and basically, when your units get to a certain amount, they basically require a portion of that gold you get, probably wages, I guess.
Huh? Dabu.
They need their wages, man.
Yes.
And that means you
Master?
gotta lose some of your gold.
The spirits
I think it's actually
are
personally a really cool
restless.
mechanic
Yes,
and adds
I
some
am
depth
the
to a game. Oh, by the way, you're dead.
Zug-zug. Obu, War Chief. We found where
So
they're
close.
holding Grom, but the area is protected by fortified guard towers. Then destroy them. Hellscream must be freed. Obu. Zug-zug.
I'm gonna put that unit on prohibition. Removed from the control group, we are not using him. Because preserving your units is a good skill.
Direct me.
Which I'm going to forget for these shamans because I hate them. And did I say shaman? No, not the Pokemon shaman. The
How can I help?
occupation of shaman.
The spirits are restless.
God damn it. Oh well.
Yes. Master.
I
am.
fucked up somewhere. And yeah, with this, we will soon be complete with this mission.
Has come. For honor.
Oh, an island.
Ron, are you alright? I'm fine, little brother. Luckily, they only injured my pride. Great, because we're getting out of here now. We're leaving the human lands for good. Finally, follow me. I have an idea. We can set sail on the humans' own ships. Perfect. But we'll need to wait for the rest of the Horde. The Horde is assembled, War Chief. We await only your command.
Now, go, young thrall. Sail west to the lands of Kalimdor. It is there that you will find your destiny. It is there that your people's salvation will be assured.
Apparently, three hull ships is the entirety of the human zone ships, and what's more, the entirety of the Horde constitutes of like 12 grunts. And I think we ended up having like 16 or 17 grunts in total by the end. Don't ask me how that works, but I believe by the next part we will be moving on to the human campaign. The Scourge of Lordaeron! Oh no. Oh no. Anyhow, good morning.